You don't stop. It doesn't feel like an earthquake. It feels like the ground betrays you. At the equator, Earth's surface moves at 1,670 kilometers per hour because of rotation. That's roughly 1,000 miles per hour. You don't notice it because everything around you moves at the same speed. But if Earth stops instantly, you don't. Your body, your house, your car, everything not anchored to bedrock keeps moving east at that speed. If you're standing in New York, you're suddenly thrown sideways at nearly the speed of a jetliner. Buildings shear from their foundations. Skyscrapers don't tip. They disintegrate as inertia rips them apart floor by floor. Cars become projectiles. Trains derail mid-track. People outdoors are hurled hundreds of meters before impact kills them instantly. Near the equator, the force is strongest. At higher latitudes, it weakens but remains catastrophic. Even at 45 degrees latitude, places like Montreal or Milan, you'd still be moving at over 1,100 kilometers per hour. There's no reaction time, no warning, no bracing for impact. Within the first second, billions die not from the planet stopping, but from their bodies refusing to stop with it. The air becomes weaponized. Even after the ground stops, the air doesn't. Earth's atmosphere rotates with the planet at up to 1,670 kilometers per hour at the equator. If the solid Earth stops instantly, the atmosphere keeps moving east at full speed. That's faster than the cruising speed of a commercial jet. Within seconds, the entire planet is hit by winds exceeding 1,600 kilometers per hour. The strongest hurricanes ever recorded reach about 300 kilometers per hour. This is 5 times stronger, everywhere, all at once. Skyscrapers already shattered by inertia are stripped to their steel frames. Concrete peels away in chunks. Trees don't bend, they're ripped from the ground, roots and all. Sand, glass, vehicles, and debris become hypersonic shrapnel traveling faster than the speed of sound. Breathing becomes impossible. Not from lack of oxygen, but from air pressure so violent it collapses lungs on contact. Eardrums rupture. Even underground shelters flood with supersonic winds through ventilation shafts and doorways. The friction from air moving this fast generates extreme heat. Surfaces exposed to the wind begin to ignite. Cars tumbling through the air catch fire mid-flight. Forests that survived the initial impact burst into flames from friction alone. Within minutes, firestorms erupt across continents. The heat doesn't come from the sun. It comes from the atmosphere itself becoming a blowtorch. Those who survived being thrown now suffocate, burn, or are shredded by debris moving faster than bullets. The air that kept you alive for your entire life just became the fastest way to die. Water doesn't wait. The land stopped. The air kept moving. Now the water follows. At the equator, the oceans move east at 1,670 kilometers per hour. When Earth stops, trillions of tons of seawater don't politely settle. They keep going. Mega-tsunamis begin racing inland. Not the 30-meter waves of the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami, but walls of water thousands of meters high moving at jet speed. Entire coastlines vanish in minutes. Cities like Miami, Tokyo, Lagos, and Sydney are erased before anyone still alive even sees the wave coming. Water pushes hundreds of kilometers inland, grinding buildings, highways, and forests into unrecognizable debris. But it doesn't stop there. Earth's rotation creates a bulge at the equator. Sea level there is about 21 kilometers higher than it would be without spin. This bulge exists because centrifugal force pushes water outward. Remove the spin, and that bulge collapses. Water migrates toward the poles. Equatorial coastlines that survived the initial tsunami drain away, leaving ships stranded and port cities dry. Meanwhile, polar regions drown beneath miles of redistributed ocean water. Entire countries near the Arctic and Antarctic disappear under new seas. If you survived inertia and wind, the water finishes you. Either crushed beneath a moving wall of ocean, or stranded as coastlines cease to exist in any recognizable form. The planet reshapes itself. If somehow you survive the wind and water, the ground itself tears apart. Earth's rotation creates a bulge at the equator, making the planet about 43 kilometers wider there than from pole to pole. It's not a perfect sphere. It's an oblate spheroid stretched by spin. Remove rotation instantly, and gravity begins pulling Earth into a true sphere. Rock doesn't reshape quietly. The crust fractures under unimaginable stress. Fault lines worldwide slip simultaneously. Earthquakes exceed anything in recorded history. The strongest earthquake ever measured, the 1960 Chile quake, was magnitude 9.5. This would be magnitude 10 or higher globally all at once. Mountains shed entire faces, the Himalayas crumble, the Andes collapse. Cities already weakened by inertia and wind now shatter from below as the ground itself buckles. Volcanic pressure changes trigger eruptions along the Pacific Ring of Fire. Magma doesn't trickle, it explodes. Lava floods regions already destroyed. Ash plumes inject billions of tons of particulates into the atmosphere, blocking what little sunlight might have remained. If you survived being thrown, burned, or drowned, the planet's attempt to correct its own shape crushes you beneath collapsing infrastructure or buries you in volcanic ash. Survival becomes impossible. If you somehow made it through the first day, survival still runs out. When Earth stops spinning, the 24-hour day disappears. One side of the planet faces the sun continuously. The other remains in total darkness. On the sunlit side, temperatures climb without the relief of nightfall. Surface temperatures exceed 80 degrees Celsius in equatorial regions within weeks, hot enough to denature proteins in your body. Oceans evaporate. Freshwater sources dry up. Heat stroke becomes inevitable. On the dark side, temperatures plummet to minus 60 degrees Celsius or lower. Water freezes solid. Any crops that might have survived are killed by permanent frost. Weather systems collapse entirely. Rotation drives global wind patterns through the Coriolis effect. Without it, atmospheric circulation stagnates. Rain stops falling in predictable patterns. Droughts and floods appear randomly with no seasonal logic. Agriculture fails within one growing season. Even if small groups survived in shelters, food chains disintegrate. Starvation follows within months. You don't die in a single dramatic moment anymore. You die because Earth no longer distributes heat, water, or seasons in a way life can tolerate. The spin didn't just give us day and night, it gave us balance. And without it, survival slowly, inevitably runs out. If you found this scenario interesting, like the video and subscribe for more.